Hello everybody, this is Pat Walker, Mission Winners, doing a video overview of the ETFs. You can say, well, why are we looking at the ETFs? It's really quite simple. We have a limited amount of money. We have a limited amount of time. We need to use both assets wisely. By looking at the ETFs, the industry ETFs, we can see where money is going, flowing into it, but also where money is leaving a sector. How does that help us? Well, it helps us deploy our hard-earned money. We're going to go where the money's going, just common sense. So let's go through here and look at this. Now, this list is sorted alphabetically. It's not sorted by relative strength or rank or anything like that. Just in simple alphabetical format. So here we go. Bots. This is robotics, artificial intelligence. And you can see this is moving up nicely. Now you can see when it was moving up back here, this is the daily chart on the right and weekly on the left. You could say, as it was breaking out and starting to trend with increasing volume, back here, you could have looked and said, just done a search real quick and find out the top 10 holdings in BOTZ. And again, that's a good move. That's what we do at Mission Winners, systematize. So I'm not saying buy it now, but I'm saying back here when it was exhibiting strength, breaking out of this base and then volume coming into it, that's when you do your searches. Helps you. Cloud computing's been strong. What does that tell us? Looking at some cloud computing stocks. It's working. That's good to see. I'm not saying buy it now. Let's flip the coin. Commodities. This isn't doing anything. What does that tell us? Stay away from the commodity stocks. See, there's two sides to that coin. What to look for and things to avoid. Both pieces of information are valuable to us. So nothing to do with commodities. Stay away from commodities. The diamond's picking up a little bit. But they're still off their highs. And you can see on the weekly, it's still languishing. This is only 30 stocks, by the way, the Dow. Don't become overly enamored with it. Okay, there's better places to make better decisions. Dow Jones Internet has been, look at the weekly, look at the daily, lifting up. As it was lifting up, you could have said, way back here, maybe I need to look at some internet stocks. I'll slide this back here and show you. You can say, well, yeah, there's a base there. Oh, look, it lifted through there on a pickup in volume. Gosh, maybe I should look into some internet stocks. There we go, and that's what we do. That helps us, and that's why we have been involved in internet technology. IBD 50 is finally starting to show a little life. Not a tremendous amount of robust growth here on the weekly, but it is picking up a little bit on the daily. That's good to see. That's nice to know. Now this is Microsector's FANG, as you can see by the name up here. The FANG stocks. You all know what the FANG stocks are. Big money goes there. We have our own FANG that I developed long before I ever heard the phrase FANG, called the MAXLIST. I love those stocks. You've seen them, you've seen the power on them. We make a video on those every week. Those are my go-to stocks. First Trust Dorsey, right? This is more, I do believe, growth oriented. A little bit of power in there, but not a lot, okay? Continue onwards. China, in 1 second, it tells you, be careful with Chinese stocks. They're not doing much right now. By the way, I need to share this. I'm not getting political when I say that, okay? That has nothing to do with it. It's just they're not really buying Chinese stocks. Okay, fine. Gold miners, they're really not buying gold miners. Stay away from gold for right now. Gold, they're not buying it. Look at the chart. They're not buying it. Oh, maybe it's going to bounce. Why play the maybe game? I'd rather look for things that show strength, and I hope you do too. There's nothing there, leave it alone. That simple. Biotechnology, lagging, leave it alone. It's below the falling, or that's below the 50-day. There's no power yet. Wait until it starts showing power through the 50-day. Oil and gas, lagging, there's not a lot of power there. I mean, you can look at this. I just showed you some other ETFs that go, God, they're near 52-week highs. This isn't. Stay away. Be careful with energy, oil, and gas. Technology. Oh, another technology ETF. Look at how this has been demonstrating strength. And that's why we've been involved in technology for a long time. MAXLIST stocks. We own a bunch of them. They're leaders. There you go. Medicine, lagging. Dow Jones Medicine. Stay away from it for right now. Nothing to do with it. Mid-cap. Now this is a plus to see. The mid-cap ETF. What does this show? You're going to see another one soon too. It's saying, oh, it looks like the rally's spreading out. It looked just like the big stocks for a while, but here's a mid-cap ETF showing some strength. That's nice to see on the daily. We like that. Aerospace and defense picking up a little bit. Looks okay. Something to take into consideration. Home construction's acting good. Looking at some home, but we own quite a few home building stocks. Why? Well, because this ETF's been leading, but also has Pulte Homes, Kaufman and Broadhome, BZH, Those are three I can think of. Money flows there. That's it. Continue on. S&P 500 growth. Growth, what does this tell us? S&P 500 growth stocks are leading, not value, growth, which is why we're involved in growth, and I hope you are too. Small caps, they were really lagging. They started to show some life at the end of last week. What does that say? Maybe looking at some small cap stocks, but it also reinforces that the rally's spreading out. That's nice to see. Real estate's just going sideways. There's not a lot of power there. And look at the weekly. There's just not much power, so be careful with real estate. Transportation's picking up a little bit, tells us the rally's spreading out there. Airlines picking up a little bit. That's good to see. Again, the rally's spreading out. I have to stress this. Please don't think that I'm, the eternal bull. No, I'm just pointing out what is. That's all. And we put aside bias, opinions, we let it guide us. The market action. Regional banking picking up a little bit. That's nice to see. A lot of overhead in this, folks. Tons of overhead. It's going to take a lot of power for this to start lifting some more. Okay? That's good to know. Mid-cap. Mid-cap's just been going sideways, and then it finally started to pick up. What does that tell us? Well, the rally's spreading out a little bit. There we go. Oil services, it's okay, but not a lot of power there. Okay? Pharmaceuticals, there's no power there. Leave it alone. I just flew right by it. I'll go back to it. I really stress this. It's below the 50-day. It's not showing much power. Maybe I can find the lone pharmaceutical stock that can do something. Why? Why? We lose the ego. Get in line. We get in line with what is, not what we think should be happening. And that really helps us. Makes us money and keeps us safe. Software, technology related, right? Do we own some software stocks? Yes, we do. Why? It's been telling us to buy it. It's been moving up. It's showing strength. That's good to see. Continue onwards. Ultra QQQ, QLD. Love QLD and SSO. Love them. And it's showed some strength through here. Right now, it's just going sideways. Actually fell on a pickup in volume on Thursday. It says, NASDAQ, the big NASDAQ stocks, not a lot of power there at this point in time. Okay? Same thing's true with QQQ. Overall strength, but the last several days they're resting. But please don't say I'm saying the rally is over. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying right now they're resting. Retail's starting to pick up, maybe looking at some retailing stocks. Silver's still lagging. There's not a lot of power in silver. I'd be careful with that. Steel's lagging. I mean, it's back through the 50-day, but you can see, look at the overhead here. There's just not a lot of power. Be careful with that. All right? Semiconductors, technology related. Look at this lift here. Look at the volume pickup. I used to say this at the IBD meetups for years. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. They voted on that bar. Look at the volume surge, and it's lifting up. That's good to see. What does that say? Maybe looking at some, set it back here. Maybe looking at semiconductor stocks. There we go. Spiders are acting a little bit better. The S&P 500 tells us the rally's spreading out. SSO is the leveraged one, tells us the rally is spreading out. By the way, I like how this fell and then closed near the highs on a pickup in volume. That's something to watch, taking out these tops across here. I'll draw the line for you. There you go. See that push through there with volume. Something to take into consideration. Something to watch. Solar. What does this say? Stay away from solar stocks. It's that simple. Oh, maybe it's going to bounce. Why play the maybe game? I'd rather go where money's going instead of impose our will on what might happen. There we go. Let's continue onward. Small cap, another small cap ETF, the leverage one, picking up. That's good to see. Continue onwards. Uranium's picking up a little bit, as you can see. Maybe looking at some uranium stocks. By the way, I'm not trying to be funny when I say this. I'm trying to be brutally blunt with everybody. Oil and gas lagging. Look, the market rallied and this thing's fallen. It's below the 50-day. I said this for years, like I said, the air is better above the rising 50-day. Good to remember. Consumer discretionary is picking up. What does this tell us? The consumer's been coming back. That's good to see. What does that mean? The consumer's exhibiting some confidence in purchasing. That's good to know, isn't it? There we go. Aerospace and defense, that looks good. Looking at some aerospace and defense stocks. Biotechnology's hanging in okay. Looking at some biotechnology. Home builders. Look at the base on the home builders. Look at the weekly. And then it lifted it off on the daily. Consumers. I showed you some other areas where looks like the consumer's coming back. Well, I'll tell you what. You're going to buy a house? That's consumer buying. There we go. Shows things are improving some. I'm not saying buy it here, but it's something to take into consideration in your thought processes and deployment of assets. Here we go. Basic materials picking up a little bit, but not that great yet, okay? Communications, technology related, it's acting okay. How many times have I said technology related? See the theme? Over and over. Energy lagging, leave it alone. Financials picking up a little bit. Here, still a lot of overhead supply. We need to see some more power with the financials, all right? Industrials picking up, shows the rally spreading out a little bit. That's good to see. Technology. Look at the weekly on technology. This broke out 4 weeks ago on this, right here. You see that base? Right there, and it lifted off right here. Isn't that nice? It's working. What was it telling you? Watch this. You'll love this. I was just kind of going sideways. Yeah, you know, I guess if it takes out these tops, that'd be pretty good. Oh, gee whiz, it did on a pickup in volume on the weekly. What was it telling us several weeks ago? It's saying, hey, you might want to look at some technology stocks. Did we? Yes, we did. Do we own them? Yes, we do. There you go. Just connecting the dots. That's simple. I hope this helps you. This is what I used to teach at the IBD meetups, things like this too. Okay, consumer staples. What does this say? Consumer's not really involved with a lot of buying there. Be careful with consumer staple stocks. Healthcare, lagging. Stay away from healthcare stocks. That's simple. Maybe it's going to turn, but why play the maybe game? I'd rather go where things are working good now. That's simple. It works. Consumer discretionary, another consumer. The consumer's been buying. That shows things are improving. Folks, there's a tremendous amount of information in the charts if you just know how to read it and read it with an open mind. There you go. Metals and mining, lagging, not a lot of power there. Oil and gas, it's going up some, but there's not. Look at the weekly. You're not going to see this in any chart book saying, this is what you look for, this is it. No. So be careful with oil and gas, energy. Metals are picking up a little bit. It's okay. Or excuse me, retail, I'm sorry. Picking up a little bit, but still not a lot of power. What is it related to? The consumer. It is picking up a little bit on the daily, and there was some volume coming into it on Friday. So that's a plus. Like to see it pushing through on the weekly. A lot of overhead supply here, folks. Be aware of that in retailers. Continue onward. Software, another technology ETF, looking good. How many times have I said technology, comma, looking good? There you go. And then we'll continue onwards here to the MAXLIST stocks. So here's Apple. Again, weekly on the left, daily on the right. We own this. It's been working for quite a while. I say this to the VIPs countless times every day. Good entry. It's the lower level cup with a handle right here. Good entry and trends pay. If you look closely, folks, this stock has not closed below the 21-day exponential moving average. That's the blue line. 21 EMA, okay, for this whole trend. We're letting her work. Have sold some into strength. We're in great shape. That's it. Now, I'm not saying buy it now. I'm just saying good entry and trends pay. And I'll show you something here. This is why I love weekly and daily. Here you go. What do you see here? Oh gosh, it kind of looks like a cup with a handle. Yeah, there you go. And a trend up to 21 EMA. Continue onwards. And again, I'm not saying buy it here, but I'm just reinforcing the point of the work. The work shows it and pays off. Amazon, entries down here on the weekly, and it's just been working for us. Just trending. We just let her work. Have sold some into strength. We're in good shape. I need to stress something here. I'm not saying buy it now. No, don't. It's too extended. There's no clean and simple base entry here at this point in time. Wait, here's another good lesson for everybody. It also fell 3 days ago on fairly heavy volume. That's a reason to say, let's just wait, not buy any here. We sell some and watch it. There we go. But trends pay. Alibaba, what does this tell you? I mean, look at this chart. Look at Amazon trending up. Here's Alibaba. It's doing nothing. In 1 second, it says, I don't need to look at it. Move on. Do you realize how powerful that is? We want to focus on where potential money can be made. It's not here right now. Leave it alone. BIDU, nothing. Leave it alone. There's too much overhead. There's nothing great happening here. Just wait. Maybe it'll line up eventually. Google. Here's the clean and simple base on the weekly. And here you've got a base right here on the daily. Look at the volume pickup on this bar. Do you see this? People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. They voted, bouncing off the moving averages. And it's working from there. There we go. Here it is on the weekly. Look at the weekly volume. There it is. Vanilla. Just let it work. We'll see what happens. Goldman Sachs is really not doing too much here, okay? I mean, it had a little bit of volume here. There's a ton of overhead supply here, folks. And note this on the weekly. Here's a reason why we do this. Oh, look, it's going up. Oh, look, it fell on a pickup in volume. Not real heavy, but a pickup in volume. Then it went sideways. Oh, look, then it fell again on a pickup in volume. It tells us there's some sellers there. We need to see some real power lifting off. What could it be? Look at the daily and say, oh, it lifted up on pretty heavy volume right here. Closed pretty good here on up volume. Good here. Just going sideways. Needs to take out these tops on heavy volume. Could be a potential trigger. There you go. MasterCard, there's nothing going on there. Look at the weekly. Nothing. Daily, nothing. Leave it alone. Move on. Don't have to overthink it. Meta, entries, here, here, here. And it's just trending. And you can see the trend on the weekly. And it's working. Just let it work. We had buys down lower in here too. Okay? This is why, and by the way, yeah, it's a MAXLIST stock. Yes, that's what we look for. Look at down in here. Look at the buys even in here. There you go. It works. This corresponds with all of this. That's where we were buying. I didn't think we bought down here. I just marked that. Maybe we did way back, and I'd have to look. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say we did. Okay, I have to document it. So, but we were buying in here, which corresponds to this. And you can see it's trending. There you go. Now I need to pause here and share something. This isn't bragging. It's just educating. That's all I want to do. Another key point I want to make. It's gotten loose up here. Be careful buying here. The best setup are clean and simple base breakouts. All right? Pullback setups are less reliable. So if you do it, just go smaller to control risk. What could happen here? Setup. Could it bounce off the rising 8 EMA? Yes. I would lean more as an add-on than a new buy. Okay? Just sharing that with you to help. Microsoft, look at the weekly. Look at that base. Is that a thing of beauty? I love that. Here's the daily. We own it and it's working. It's just trending. Again, I'm not saying, oh gosh, this is all good. I'm just trying to point out, train our eyes and minds on what to look for. This is what I did at the IBD meetups. Just showing people, focus on this. Master a couple of chart setups and turn off the noise, but really master them, own them, make them yours. And trends pay. There we go. Don't do anything with it now. It's okay, but there's no setup at this point in time. Netflix. Look at the clean and simple base right here. This was a cup and a handle. You want to see something beautiful? Look at that cup with a handle. And it fell. I made videos on this for people. Pulls back and said, well, it's forming a cup and a handle. Watch this. You'll love this. This is like going to the ice cream store. This is fun. Cup forming a handle. Maybe if it takes out this handle with volume, that would be a good buy. Oh, gee whiz, it did. And we bought. Look at the volume, folks. They voted. And yeah, we were voting with them. And that is where it is now. We've sold some into strength. We're in great shape. There we go. By the way, I have to tell you this. On all these charts that I'm showing, when we're making decisions, we're riding them. I'm just looking at the weekly and the daily. When we're buying, we might narrow it down to the 30-minute or hourly for a trigger to look for that volume coming into it on lesser time frames. Other than that, though, you just let them work. That will help you. Let's continue onwards. There's NVIDIA. We had entries down in here. We had entries back in here. All right. And this is just trending. Just so everybody knows, our first buys were down here. This was on the key list in January, pushing through here. All right. And that, what is it, folks? It's a higher low setup. Right in there. Right in there. Corresponds right in here. At this spot. Right in here. Taking that out. And you're off to the races. And they voted. Look at the volume spike on that bar. And it's trending. It's working. A lot of people would have bought this and said, oh gosh, I'm up 30 points. I'm taking my gain. So you sell here. We'll say you sell it for 190. Okay. Well, here it is now at 380. And you've missed this whole run. And you didn't have to do anything. Let them work for you. And I will tell you this. I will bare my soul. I wish somebody would have said that to me years ago. Said, hey, why are you selling all of it? Don't limit profits, limit losses. And I'm just sharing this with you to help you. I'll make this a little bigger so you can see it. Let's get nothing to do with it right here. It is forming a little shelf, okay? As you can see, let's refresh this. You can see a small shelf right here taking out these tops. But note what it did yesterday, Friday. It gapped up and it closed below where it opened. It needs to take out these tops with real volume. There you go. And until then, just be cautious. We're in good shape. Let it go. Tesla. We bought Tesla a couple of times, and then yesterday it gapped up. We got a gift, runs up and starts to fall. We locked some profits in. Okay, there it is. I'm not saying buy it now. Okay, no, I'm just pointing out the tactics of getting in, and letting it work. There we go. So, and I'm thankful for that. And I didn't know there was going to be news like there was. So, we just get in line. Visa. Look at this. I mean, you ready for this? You go, well, this is kind of nice. This is kind of trendy. Oh, this doesn't look so good. You're exactly right. I'll enlarge it. You look at this. Look for the green bars. Stay away from the red. A lot of red, leave it alone. That's simple. It's too loose. Move on.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.